Hello, I'm Michael Nash, CTO of Cognal Labs. We're a company dedicated to bringing the power of cognitive natural language understanding to Internet products. Our flagship product, NLQuery, is our natural language understanding engine, taking queries and commands, in plain English, or any other language for that matter, and turning them into structured query for a database. In this demonstration, we're going to be using NLQuery against a database full of baseball facts and statistics, and using queries that relate to this domain. These same techniques, however, can be applied to a corporate database or any other relational or non-relational database. Let's take a look. This is NLQuery, and we start by logging in. You can use your account from any other OAuth provider, such as Google+, Facebook, Twitter, or create an account directly on our system as you prefer. Now we're looking at the main page for NLQuery, where you can interact with the system using plain English. As the screen suggests, we could start by asking for help. We see a list of all the commands we can issue, assuming we have permission to do so. Users can be restricted to only running queries. We'll come back to those commands. But for now, let's run some questions. So the system turns that query into a structured form, using a sophisticated set of algorithms and a prepared model of the subject area, in this case, baseball. This model includes a link to our proprietary OntoloNet hierarchical ontology that lets it understand far more than just the terms in a baseball database. This is part of the magic that lets NLQuery and its implementations understand questions such as who, where, how much, the most, and verbs and phrase combinations numbering in the hundreds of thousands. We can see the SQL that resulted from our query by asking so that's the database language that actually gets executed. One of the most difficult things about natural language is that you can ask the same thing in a great many different ways. For example, if I want to see a list of baseball teams, I could say teams. I could say give me teams. I could say show me teams. Or I could spell something a bit incorrectly and just say team. The important thing here is that NLQuery understands the question. It doesn't just try to match the words. Some more sophisticated examples will help demonstrate what I mean. Players for the Rangers, for instance. Texas Rangers players with the most home runs. Now in this case we'd need to scroll to the right here to see the home runs per season, as we requested. So we can ask for a lot of data columns as required. We can ask many different questions, but the real power of NLQuery comes when we ask something it doesn't yet understand. For example, who are the Texas Rangers members? Now the system doesn't at the moment have any idea what the word members means, but as you can see, some helpful suggestions are presented that are semantically similar to the one that was tried. The problem here is that NLQuery doesn't understand the term members, but thanks to our Teach the Computer functionality, we can quickly define members as a synonym for the entity players in our system. Again, a system administrator must have permission to do this. Define members for entity players. Oops. Define synonyms for entity players. There we go. So now, if I go back and I use this little icon to say, who are the Texas Rangers members again, now the system understands. Now, this is one of those commands that we saw in the help window shown earlier on, and it's the most simplistic example of teaching the computer. Far more sophisticated phrases and meanings can easily be taught by users, authorized users, in seconds, easily expanding the understanding of NLQuery significantly. If we stray even further afield and ask a question in a form that NLQuery can't handle, again yet, then we'll see suggestions, and these suggestions are chosen using a Dice-Sorensen-Levenstein combination proximity algorithm to be as similar as possible to what we did ask, so we can rephrase. For example, if we say just American, Now, we don't understand the simple term American, but we do understand all of these queries that are listed in the suggestions column. So, for example, runs. Now I see queries that have to do with runs, and so forth. Over time, successful queries are added to this list, and eventually the number of times that you can actually stump NLQuery becomes very small indeed in a given subject area. We hope you've enjoyed this quick look at our products. Cognal Labs brings over a century of collective experience to the natural language understanding field. We intend to put it to use to bring cognitive natural language to your desktop and devices.